Afternoon everyone, and welcome back to Birmingham Wildlife Conservation Park for our first Facebook Live video of 2023. So yeah, as you may have seen in the post I put up yesterday, just advertising the video today, we're going to try something a bit different this year. And yeah, we're going to go on a bit of a world tour within the park. So each week we are going to focus on a different species that we've got here at the park. And kind of make our way around the world as we do so. So obviously, yeah, we're going to start in Australia today, and then over the next, coming weeks and months, because if we do this every week, it will still take over a year to see all the different species that we've got here at the park. So yeah, over the coming weeks and months, we'll make our way up through Southeast Asia, across into Europe, down through Africa, and then across to South America and up all the way through to North America. So yeah, that's the plan for this little world tour. Different species every week, making our way around the world as we do so. Hi Mary, hope you're okay today. So yeah, today we are going to be focusing on our group of red-necked wallabies, because we're starting our kind of world tour on the east coast of Australia, which is where these guys are naturally found. Yeah, red-necked wallabies live along the east coast of Australia, all the way down to kind of the south coast. They also live on the island of Tasmania. So yeah, they've got quite a large range considering the size of Australia. These guys do have quite a large range in their native habitat. Yeah, habitat-wise for them, mainly grassland, scrub kind of habitats, things like that. But yeah, they're able to kind of cope and survive with many different climates and temperatures. So obviously Australia is generally quite a warm country, but there are kind of snowy mountain tops and colder areas which you do find. You do find wallabies in some of those cooler areas as well. So yeah, they are able to cope with extreme heat and fairly cold temperatures as well. They're very hardy animals, and that's kind of one of the reasons as well why these guys have actually kind of what would the word be? Established their own kind of feral populations within the UK, Europe, America. So yeah, they have got their own, well, not their own. They have been able to establish little populations, mainly from escaped animals, in areas that you wouldn't naturally find them in, such as the UK. There used to be a population, I think, around the Peak District. There's some up a little bit further north as well. I think the Isle of Man had or still has a little population. So yeah, that kind of shows that they are quite adaptable, and yeah, really able to cope with a range of different habitats, temperatures, climates, etc. Yeah, so the tails are great, Penny. So they use those big, long, muscular tails for balance as they're hopping around, as you can kind of see there. Yeah, they like I say, they use them for balance as a bit of a counterweight as well, because obviously when they're jumping on their back legs, quite a lot of their weight is lent forwards, so their tail's quite big, quite heavy, like I say, quite muscular, which does allow them to kind of have a bit of a counterbalance there. For them as they kind of move around. So diet-wise, Mary, in the wild, mainly grasses, plants, shrubs, things like that. Anything they can kind of find and get their teeth round in the Australian bush. Here at the park, we feed them a herbivorous grazer pellet. They obviously have all the grass here which they're able to graze on. We offer hay as well, and then not so much now but in the in the summer months, sorry, we'll give them browse. So freshly cut plants from a range of different species. Willow's a favourite of theirs. So yeah, they like tucking into a little bit of fresh browse as well. So yeah, there's not a massive range in their diet. It is mainly kind of leaf and plant and grass based, but yeah, they seem to enjoy it, which is the main thing. Hi Tim, hope you're okay today. So yeah, here at the park we have 3 wallabies. They're a bit nervous and a bit skittish, which is why we can't get too close to them. I believe it's a mum and dad, and then their latest Joey. I mean, that Joey's all grown up now. So I think this one here is our kind of dominant male, our adult male who's just hopped off. And then in this little shelter down here, I think are the other 2. They're just hiding in there. I don't know if you can see them very well. They're just having a little bit of a hide in there. So we will try and follow the one that's outside, just because he is a little bit easier to spot. Yes, Happy New Year everybody as well, into 2023. So yeah, they do live alongside kangaroos. They do share some of the kind of same habitats as some of the kangaroo species. Wallabies and kangaroos obviously being quite closely related. Wallabies are pretty much just small kangaroos. They aren't quite in the same genus. Up until recently, it was thought that kind of wallabies and kangaroos shared a genus, but they have been split fairly recently, and even some of the kangaroos have actually been split now. So yeah, yeah, they can be found alongside greys, I think mainly. Eastern greys would be the ones they're most commonly found alongside, I believe. Not sure about reds. Yeah, not quite sure of the range of a red kangaroo, but yeah, they're definitely seen alongside eastern grey kangaroos in the wild. Ooh, Joeys probably can't jump too high, Tim. Joeys could probably, well, I say too high, relatively too high. They could probably jump, ooh, off the top of my head, vertically, maybe about 4 foot, possibly. Off the top of my head, that would be a guess. Whereas adults have got a big jump on them, a vertical jump. I don't actually know the exact figure. Obviously this fence, which is a little bit taller than me, so just a bit over 6 foot. Not quite that tall, but yeah, they've got a good jump on them with their powerful back legs. Hi Matt, okay. So the reproductive cycle of wallabies and things is quite interesting, Tim, same as kangaroos and things like that. So normally they've actually got, I think normally they've got about 3 babies on the go at once, in different stages. So you have you'll have one that's kind of fully developed out the pouch, not really needing mum too much anymore, maybe coming back every now and then. You then have one that is in the pouch that's fairly dependent on mum, doesn't really come out very much, possibly just starting to come out, but still very much dependent on mum and mum's milk. And then normally they've also got one that's just, what would the word be, still developing internally before it gets born. And when baby wallabies are born, same with all marsupials, they're absolutely tiny. You know, they're only really the size of a jelly bean, I think, is the usual measure for the size of a baby wallaby when it's born. And it crawls up to mum's pouch, gets into the pouch, attaches itself to one of mum's teats, and starts developing within the pouch really, until it's ready to pop out as a miniature version of its mum. So So yeah, it's very interesting with marsupials. They've got this very interesting reproductive cycle, where they can have a few babies on the go at once, all at different stages. Like I say, that's the same with, you know, majority of marsupial species. You know, same with the wombats and the quolls and the wallabies, kangaroos, etc. They've all got this same kind of strategy. I'll zoom in on you. So like I say, these guys at the park are red-necked wallabies. There are a number of different species of wallabies. You get things like swamp wallabies, black-striped wallabies, what else do you get? Palmer wallabies, agile wallabies. But yeah, these are red-necked. So these are the ones that are kind of most common in captivity. These are the ones you normally see. They are classed as least concern on the IUCN Red List. They're not really majorly threatened by anything at the moment. There's not too much habitat loss for them. There is encroachment from the human population onto their kind of native range, which has shrunk that slightly. But yeah, they are still classed as least concern on the red list. Well, that's a good question, Tim. I'm not actually sure of the exact length of time that a youngster stays in the pouch. It's always hard to gauge because, like I say, they're actually born very small and very, very underdeveloped. So by the time they come out and they look like a proper little wallaby, they're it's hard to tell how long they've actually been in there. I'd say it's a good probably 6 to 9 months maybe, off the top of my head. But yeah, not really 100% sure on the exact length of time. But it is a while, like I say, because of their strange little reproductive pattern. So yeah, they can be dangerous to humans. They've got such kind of strong, powerful back legs that a kick from these guys does very much hurt. Touch wood, I haven't been kicked by one whenever we've been catching them up, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point. Obviously, yeah, kangaroos are a lot more dangerous as they're much bigger, but these guys can still give you a nasty kick. So yeah, normally they wouldn't bother you, but if they felt threatened, they would probably have a bit of a go. All three of them have gone down into the little hide there. See if we can see them a little bit more clearly. So yeah, they do have a couple of potential predators in the wild, Tim. Things like dingoes would be the main threat. They are, I would say they are quite defensive animals. But I think it depends on the situation, whether they'd, really have a go at a dingo. If there was a pack of dingoes and it was a lone wallaby, I wouldn't think they'd fight too fiercely, unfortunately. So yeah, I think it depends on the situation. This species of wallaby can live in groups or on its own. They're kind of happy with either, really. Mainly coming together in groups when resources are quite abundant. So yeah, like I say, if they were in a group, then yeah, maybe they would fight a little bit more to protect, but an individual against a group of dingo wouldn't really stand a chance. Yeah, we do see a little bit of boxing with them, Tim. Every now and then they'll, mainly in kind of breeding season, they'll square up to each other and have a bit of a box. Nothing major. It's more for show than actual contact. But yeah, we do see a little bit of that boxing behaviour here. Right then guys, feel free to send any last minute questions, otherwise we will wrap the video up shortly. So yeah, for next week's video, we will actually be staying within Australia, and we are going to actually go and see one of our kind of lesser known species. We're going to go and see our brush-tailed bettong, who live on the floor in our Loris house. So yeah, we're going to try and see them. They're very elusive, very secretive, but we'll do our best to see them. So yeah, like I say, we'll be staying within Australia to see them next week. So yeah, it'd be quite nice to try and have a bit of a focus on them. I don't think we've ever really focused them on the Facebook Live, so it'd be nice to go and see them and see what they're up to next week. And yeah, like I say, this world tour, as we're calling it, will take a while. I think I worked out the other day, at the moment we've got about, I think it's 58 species on show. So 58 species means 58 weeks, so this will we'll be in this for the long haul. We might interject a couple of weeks if we've got news or something else we want to show you. We might, have a pause for a week from the world tour, but yeah, this is going to be this is going to be the plan, at least for now, with our Facebook Live videos. Hopefully we'll be able to see some of the guys that we don't really spend too much time with on the live. So yeah, it'd be quite nice to do that. Right then guys, well, thank you for tuning in this week. Hope you all enjoyed being back after a little Christmas break. And yeah, we will be back again next week. Like I say, staying within Australia, having a look at our brush-tailed bettong. So yeah, tune in same time, same place next week. Thanks guys.